First of all, thank you everyone for having me here and inviting me. There we go. I was asked to come here and speak a little bit about my faith, the Sikh faith. And Sikhism in general was born about 1469, about 500 years ago during the 15th century. Many would consider it to be a modern religion in that a lot of religions haven't been created since then, but Guru Nanak was our founder. He was born, again, in 1469, and the reason why he was needed at the time was because in India, in those times, there was a big division between the Hindus and the Muslims. And there was a lot of dissension among who is right and who is wrong. And Guru Nanak came about and tried to find a synthesis between the two. And that's how Sikhism was born. The idea and the belief is that there is one God. Doesn't matter where that God comes from. It doesn't matter what you want to call him. All paths lead to the same place, right? And so when I heard this and I understood it as a child, it didn't really resonate too well with a child, but as I grew older and as the times changed, it became more and more important to me that I was a part of a faith that really brought everybody together, much like what we're doing here today, you know? A few things about Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak, again, was born a Hindu, a Brahmin, and came from a very, very wealthy family, but he shunned most of the wealth that he had. And instead, he chose to live his life on three basic principles. One of them was Kirat Karni, which is to help others, right? Seva is what we call it. When you go to a gurdwara, any gurdwara, anybody can show up and have food and break bread with anybody that's there and find a place of refuge, right? Kirat Karni Van Chakna is to work really, really hard at whatever you do. And in my eyes, you know, a lot of people say work hard is very easy. All you got to do is continue to work as hard as you possibly can. But he said with any effort that you give, whatever you do, give your full effort. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no reason that you failed if you've tried your hardest, right? And the last thing he always asked was to always remember God, right? Waheguru, all-knowing, all-encompassing, the absolute truth. Now, this is kind of why my father had this symbol on his hand, Ik Ankar, which is there is one God. That is the fundamental basis of Sikhism, as of right. And that is the belief that I hold true today. Now, Guru Nanak traveled quite a bit. I found some facts while I was figuring out what I was going to talk about today. I started doing a little research myself, and I found out that Guru Nanak actually traveled to quite a few places while he was spreading his message during those times. He went as far away as Tibet, Sri Lanka, and even to Mecca and Medina, all by foot from India, in over 23 years. In fact, at a memorial in Baghdad, his name is inscribed as Hazrat Rab-e-Majib Baba Nanak Fakir Alia, right? In Punjab, his Hindu followers called him Satguru Nanak Dev, while his Muslim followers called him Hazrat Nanak Shah. And even the yogis called him Nanak Lama, right? So he traveled quite a few places to spread his word of unity, of peace. The fact that we could all live together and celebrate our differences together was very, very important to him. As a young man, he mastered Arabic, Urdu, Farsi, Sanskrit, and even Hindi, so he could understand all the religious texts and become conversant with anybody that wanted to discuss those things with him. And eventually, you know, the thing about Sikhism that it started off very, very peaceful, but eventually all peace ends from time to time or pauses from time to time. And there was an eventual pushback against Sikhism in India, at which point, you know, with Sikhism, there were 10 living gurus, and then we have our Guru Granth Sahib, which is our holy book that we all follow now. The holy book is now a compilation of the last 10 gurus. But during that time frame of those gurus, there was a moment in time where there was a pushback and violence erupted with the Sikhs all around. And the issue that really came to being was that all religions were being challenged on how they were going to be able to practice their faith peacefully, when there's always other religions that are trying to convert and change people from what they want to be. And so our 10th Guru formalized the Khalsa, which is the identity that you see in front of you today, myself. Guru Gobind Singh, our 10th prophet, realized that we had to defend ourselves from the violence that was bestowed upon us by other religions. And so he armed us with a sword and a shield and asked us to defend not only ourselves and our beliefs, but also everybody else's. And so even our 5th Guru and our 9th Guru both laid down their lives for other religions and other practices of faith. And that was something that Guru Gobind Singh wanted to formalize all together and say, this is what it's like, this is what it should be for you to call yourself a Sikh, is to be able to not only defend your right to practice your religion, but to also defend everybody else from practicing their own, right? And so, to me, with what Guru Gobind Singh said, I wanted to finish up by just really say that, as a Sikh, when you see Sikhs around you, you'll usually see us with long hair, tied up on our head, with a turban and a beard. And you will see the ladies wearing chunnis around their head, covering their head under God, right? And it's all out of humbleness. There's nothing more to it than just us making sure that we keep to the identity that our last Guru asked us to be. Now, not everybody will follow it. What you'll notice is if you do have Sikh friends, some of them follow it to a T, some of them are right in the middle, like me, and then some of them are very strong and devout. I find myself to be right in the middle somewhere, which is where I want to be, not where anybody wants to put me. But anyway, thank you everybody for being here, and if you have any questions, by all means, give me a ring.